You open your electric bill in August, and the number makes you wince. Your AC has been spinning frantically nonstop, but you're still sitting in a living room that feels heavy, humid, and entirely uncomfortable. When an air conditioner runs for hours without dropping the temperature, the mechanical system is usually functional. The failure is occurring at the home's perimeter. The most common culprits are tiny, nearly invisible air leaks that develop right around the edges of standard vinyl window frames. These unnoticed gaps compromise the home's thermal barrier, allowing expensive, conditioned air to bleed right outside. Over time, that constant leakage can drive up your heating and cooling costs by as much as 30%. It dries, cracks, and crumbles, leaving those gaps permanently open. Then hurricane season arrives. High wind pressures drive rain directly into these compromised seals, trapping moisture in the walls and accelerating the decay. Basic, off-the-shelf windows simply aren't built to survive this specific environmental gauntlet. Eventually, they stop acting as a protective barrier and become a direct highway for your air conditioning to escape. To locate these specific failures, you have to manipulate the air pressure. A mild, windless day won't give you the readings you need to spot a draft. You need a strong pressure differential between the inside and outside of your home. You can create this by running your AC on maximum during a hot summer day, or by waiting for a heavily windy afternoon. With the house pressurized, watch for moisture forming on the interior frames in the early morning. Condensation forming on the inside shows where escaping cold air meets the outdoor humidity. Look at this double-pane window cutaway to see the difference between surface moisture and total failure. If fog appears between the glass panes, the window has broken its inner vacuum seal. External humid air is rushing into the cavity and condensing inside. Recognizing these points of thermal exchange reveals whether the window has lost its structural integrity and where you need to look closer. To pinpoint the exact location of the gap, light a stick of incense. Hold the thin trail of smoke near the edges of the window. When you hit a draft, the escaping air will blow that vertical smoke trail at a sudden right angle. Move the smoke slowly and deliberately. Trace the entire perimeter, paying special attention to the exact points where the moving sash locks into the stationary frame. But be careful what you diagnose as a leak. You'll often find small rectangular slits at the bottom exterior corners of the frame. These weep holes are designed to drain internal water. You should never plug them with caulk. Watch out for electrical outlets, exterior dryer vents, or nearby fireplace flues. These features often leak wall cavity air on their own, tricking you into blaming the glass. By cleanly isolating the actual air drafts, you avoid sealing shut your drainage paths or slapping a useless cosmetic fix over a total structural failure. If your smoke test reveals minor drafts strictly around the exterior wall trim, you can usually buy some time by scraping away the old caulk and applying fresh weather stripping. However, if you see fog trapped between the panes, condensation inside the track, or physical warping preventing the sash from closing smoothly, the unit is structurally dead. No amount of spray foam will save it. To survive a harsh coastal environment without leaking, you have to upgrade the underlying engineering. This is where hurricane impact-resistant windows become necessary. Looking at this exploded diagram of an impact window, you can see why they don't leak. They use a dense polymeric interlayer sandwiched directly between the panes of glass. Combine that with heavy-duty fusion-welded corners, and the unit stays completely airtight through intense pressure fluctuations. Because the mass and density required to stop a hurricane are so high, this construction provides a secondary benefit. It blocks sound waves just as effectively as it blocks wind, reducing exterior noise penetration by 30%. Upgrading to this level of structural reinforcement seals the perimeter. It takes a porous, money-draining house and turns it back into a highly efficient, closed system. Once your standard windows reach terminal failure, applying another layer of caulk is a waste of a Saturday. You have to replace the physical barrier. If you are dealing with the brutal combination of Gulf Coast heat, humidity, and storm pressures in the Houston or League City area, we recommend reaching out to Advanced Window Products. AWP specializes exclusively in the exact type of high-performance hurricane impact vinyl windows we just looked at. They install units engineered specifically to combat intense thermal expansion and extreme coastal moisture. They don't pull builder-grade frames off a shelf. Their windows are custom-measured and manufactured with strict lead times, ensuring the exact structural tolerances required for a perfectly tight seal. Stop paying to cool down the entire neighborhood. Secure your home's thermal envelope and lower your energy bills by contacting Advanced Window Products today.